Okay, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Now we're going to create the wheel. This one's a little tougher. Create Part Studio. I'm going to rename it down here at the bottom. Wheel. And this one's going to be a revolution, just like a lot of the others. Whenever you're making a circle shaped object, it's usually easier to make it as a revolution. So start a sketch, start it on the front plane, move it so I can see what's going on. And now I'm going to draw the outline of half of the wheel, or a fourth of the wheel, however you want to look at it. One little section of the wheel. So I'm going to use my line tool. I'm going to start here, and I'm going to draw my line going up. This line needs to be 1 inch. Okay, that shows me where I'm at. I can zoom in a little bit. I'm going to go across, click, and that thickness is going to be 0.25. And then I'm going to come down and amount. Let's see. It appears to be 0.25 when I look at the blueprint that they gave us. I'm going to go inwards, click, and this one is going to go in half of 0.25, so 0.25 divided by 2, enter. And it shows me it's 0.125, so I'll know that on the next one. So now I'm going to go straight down, click. This amount going down is 0.5 because I can do some math. I'm going to come back out. I want it to line up here. I didn't click there, but I gave myself a yellow-orange marker here, so I know where it is. It's 0.125. I'm going to come down to the bottom, click, go across, click, and now I need to do my sketch fillet, my fillet at the bottom here. So I'm going to go from this point to this point. It makes that curve, but it's not 0.25. That radius is 0.125. Boop. There it is. And then I need to do it again. I'm going to go from here to here, and that's still 0.125 because it remembers. I'm going to drag this guy over here. As it remembers, right click to make it happen, and there is 1/2 of the wheel, that revolution. I'm going to hit green check mark. I'm going to back out just a little bit. Revolve. Again, choose my face. Choose my revolve axis, which in this case is the top. It spins it around. Well, look at that. That's not quite what I wanted. I can see that I made a mistake. Let's go back into this sketch so that we can see and actually make our corrections. So the one part that I missed is there's a little radius on all these corners. So I'm going to do the same tool. It's the sketch fillet, and I'm going to go from here to here, but this time it's not 0.125. This time it's 0.0625, 0.0625. Enter, and that's that little curve, and it's the same one here. Green check mark, it's the same one here. Green check mark, it's the same one here. Green check mark. And I show this to you because, yes, if you make a mistake, you can always go back in and fix it. So now I have that nice curve going around. Green check mark. Now I'm going to revolve. I choose my shape. I choose my revolution axis. And now when you look at it, yeah, that's what it's supposed to look like. Green check mark. Okay, now I'm going to look at the right face because I've got to do some things here. I need to put a hole in the center of this. So I'm going to start a new sketch on that surface. I'm going to do a circle. I'm going to click in the center, and that radius of that hole is 0.280. Enter. Green check mark. Extrude. Remove. Green check mark. Now I have a hole in there. Now we got to put the little windows going around here. Okay, so as I was trying to do this and remember what I've done from years before, it takes a little bit. Follow along with me if you can't figure it out yourself. If you can, excellent. There's 1,000 ways to do this. Here's the way that I figured out how to do it. I'm going to start my sketch, click on this big flat surface in the middle here, and that's where I want to draw it. And if you'll look, it put a plane in the middle of that. So that's where I want to draw it. Okay, I'm going to start with some lines. I'm going to go from the center, which is my origin, and I'm going to go straight out. And I want to make sure that I'm straight, so I'm having it help me with the little orange line. Do you see that little orange line? Click. And then I'm going to come over here and turn the tool off. Oops, turn the tool off, turn the tool back on, and I'm going to make a second line. And if you look at the real thing we're trying to draw, looks like one full square and maybe a second one, maybe the part of a second one of these little windows. So I'm just going to draw a line, click, click, turns off, do it again, click, click, and it turns off, do it again, click, click, and it turns off. If you don't click that second time, it won't turn off. So now I'm going to look at my dimensions. So I'm looking at angles, so I'm going to click on this line and the black line, and that should be 15 degrees. 15 degrees. From the next one, I'm going to go 30 degrees. To the next one, I'm going to go 30 degrees. And then you have a final piece that's going to be here. But I don't care about that because I really only care about the piece that I'm going to put inside of here. And then I'm going to pattern it. I'm going to make it with the center point arc. So I'm going to start with my center point. I'm going to come up here and I'm on the orange line because I could be in the middle, but I don't want to be on the orange line. Click. I'm going to come across, click, and now I need to tell it that radius, and that radius is 0.375. 0.375. Enter. That's the bottom arc. Then I'm going to do it again. I'm going to click on the center. I'm going to come out here. I'm going to click on my orange line. I'm going to come over and click on the orange line. And now I need to tell it the new radius, which is the outside radius, and that's 0.625. And there's my curves. Now the one thing that I have a little bit of a problem with, I'm going to turn my tool off, is I didn't make that line long enough. Over here I did, over here I did not. So I can grab that and pull it past, which is all I really want to do, so that this becomes a full shape. So now that I have that full shape there, and you can tell it's a full shape because when I put my mouse in the middle of it, it highlights all four sides. I'm going to go green. No, I'm not going to go green check mark. I'm going to pattern. But I don't want to do a linear pattern. I want to do a circular pattern. Circular pattern. And now when I do a circular pattern, I need to choose all the pieces that I want. And so there's my pattern. That's all the pieces I want. And you can see out here, it's putting them out here. The problem is that's not my origin. I mean, it's the origin of the whole picture, but that's not the center of my circle. So I'm going to grab that and pull it down here into the center of my circle. And when I do, there it is, the center of my circle. And now you can see that it's made 3 others. Well, we don't want 3, we want 6. So I'm going to double tap, 6, enter. There's my 6, boom, 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 boom. Green check mark. And now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I can now extrude, choose 1, 2, and let me tilt it just a little bit so you can kind of see what's happening. 3, 4, 5, 6. I want to remove those. Green check mark. There we go. Look at that. Okay, now I have the little peg that comes out. I'm going to start a new sketch again on this same flat surface. I'm going to draw a circle. I want it to be off of the center here. So I'm going to go click. I'm going to draw a random circle, don't care what size it is, and I'm going to start looking at what are my diameters. The diameter of the outside circle is 0.25. And then I'm going to extrude that up. Oh, wait, before I do that, I need to dimension it. So the dimension from there to the center is 0.7. And I want to make sure that it lines up. So I'm going to use my horizontal tool. I'm going to click on this dot, and I can't see the center there. So actually, because it lines up on that center point, you know what? This is a great spot to do this. I'm going to use the use tool, and I'm going to use that circle, which gives me that point. Now I can use my horizontal. I can click, and it lines it up. I was close, but I wasn't perfect. So there's my circle. Green check mark, extrude. I want to extrude that circle, but I want the whole thing, and that's not giving me the whole thing. I might be able to get it like that, but if you can't, you can come back over here and just choose the sketch. So if I delete these guys and I choose this sketch, choose the sketch, it gives it to me there. But I don't want that circle either. It's just this piece. And so you're manipulating it until you got just that circle. The height of that circle is 0.375, depth 0.375, and that's it, green check mark. Okay, now we're going to do a new sketch on that surface. I'm going to draw another circle from the center of that, and it is 0.125, green check mark. Extrude that circle, it goes up 0.125, green check mark, and finally I'm going to do a hole. I can do another extrude. Start a sketch on this surface. I'm going to draw a circle, and this circle is a little tiny. This circle is 0.0625. Enter, and its depth when I extrude it, it's going to be remove, and it is 0.25. And so you can see how far down it goes there. Green check mark. You can also do that with the hole tool and put that hole in there. And there we go. Now I'm going to put some color, boop boop. And I think I'm going to do some red wheels, but I'm going to do the pinky. There we go. I like that. Now, you know what? There we go. That's what I want. There's the color I want. And then I'm going to add a second color because I want this part to be yellow. There we go. Green check mark. Okay. Got to rename the part. Wheel. Too many E's. Wheel. And I'm done.